Hello everybody, it's very nice to have you here. It's one of our, it's the first time that we've held a solar sustainability and science fair. And the students that came up here with their projects, they're wonderful. It's something we like to do every year, and hopefully we will have up to 1 or 2 events a year. And having participation from the students in this program is something we look forward to all the time. I love your projects, and hopefully you will be rewarded for your ingenuity. When we started our thought process on the solar programs, we couldn't do it. All of the laws that we were trying to use, and especially 4 specific laws, were not allowing us to implement the projects. Whether it was the property tax laws, or the net metering laws, or the business tax credits for the state of Oregon, or the rapid expiration of the federal tax credits were basically holding us back. It wasn't penciling out. And we worked very hard. By we, I mean specifically John Murphy, Ernie Munch, and the entire team worked very hard to push the envelope of the limitations outside of our way and pass laws that are more favorable to sustainable programs, specifically in the solar arena, and open doors for others. We have at the time we had, and still, we have the largest solar panel installation on one roof in Pacific Northwest. There are competitors now that compete with megawatts, but they have 3 roofs, not 1 roof. We always like to point that out. And we are producing at a higher rate of efficiency than other projects that are involved in thin film or flat roof installation, which is something that's scientifically impossible to produce more power on a flat environment for solar powers. And so we as a non-profit company were trying to figure out how a solar project at this magnitude can be done. The genius behind the design was to start the building with that in mind to begin with. And the vision of the 2 partners that put their head together, John Murphy and Ernie Munch, with the approval of the board of directors to move forward, was to build a building that once you put the solar panel on, it doesn't look like it was added on later. Let's design it together. So they picked the panel first. And once they picked the panel, which was designed by Day4 Energy in Canada, and we thought it was the superior panel in terms of design and ingenuity, in terms of collection of the electrons on the top upper grid, it had constraints. So the roof was designed to fit the panel. And once we designed the roof, then the structure of the building was designed. And then we started integrating some of the efficiencies we need for operation. So for example, if the temperature inside the building gets too hot, the big 3 fans on top turn on, and the louvers around the building open up, and we have natural circulation of the air. So everything that we had in mind was to think long term and think in a sustainable manner of how we can do it and what we can do it and how we can make it happen. After all of these thought processes went through, we still needed money to do it because we're a non-profit company. We really can't use the tax credit. With the help of commercial solar ventures and Portland Family Funds and the US Bank and a very complicated model of the financial model that was put together by this team, including us, we were able to enable other companies who had tax liabilities to take advantage of the new laws and implement this project. And the way it's designed is that for the first 5 years of the life of the project, this entity, we call it, the third entity, will use all the tax credits. And once the tax credits are exhausted, by the 6th year or so, we will be able to acquire the roof from this third entity and own the project for the rest of our life, which meets our goal. Our goal is to remain non-profit and reduce our costs so we can spend all of our resources that we have available to us to employing and training people with disabilities. And put that to work for next projects that we have in mind. As you know, one of the new projects that we're working on with partnership with Light Power Canada is to introduce design and integration of LEDs into sustainable form of energy consumption. And we've not only manufactured their products for US distribution, but we also integrated into some of our own products, which you've seen outside, integrated solar panel, battery pack, LED lights for parking lots. That's our first prototype that we have out there, and it works every night, and it works great. So the whole goal is to design more of integrated products by collecting the best of the designs in the scientific community around us and combine it together and make the Rolls-Royce by hand of people with disabilities. And that way we can have the highest quality in mind to beat the Chinese copycats and introduce the products that actually live to the expectations that they have with the resources we have available to us by designing the processes that produce the highest level of quality. The same techniques were used when we wanted to build the building and integrate it with a long-term vision in mind. The initial limitations that we were faced with building this building, which was impossible unless we changed a whole bunch of laws and regulations, we're still facing. And everybody is now claiming that the solar power is impractical. And what we believe in is that it takes 400 roofs this size to eliminate the need for one coal power plant. And everybody thinks it's not possible. And that's what we had to face in the beginning when we wanted to build this building. So think outside the box and make the impossible possible and think beyond your limitations. Thank you very much. It was a great event to have here, and I hope to see you again next time.